Okay, let's start with an update. I know there's a big game. Anis is going to be trying to break down that for us, the Namibia United Arab Emirates. But let's start with an update that has Asia rugby officials, including CEO Benjamin Van Rooyen, President Kwas Al Dalal, and UAE Rugby Vice President Fauzia have arrived in Uganda ahead of the Rugby World Cup 2027 Asia Africa playoff. The match between Namibia and the United Arab Emirates will take place tomorrow at the Mandela National Stadium. That's the outside pitch. Like we have already told you, NBA Sport will broadcast the early anticipated qualifier with coverage starting at 2 p.m. and kickoff will be at 3 p.m. The winner of this playoff will advance to the final qualification tournament in Dubai this November, competing against teams from South America, the Pacific, and Europe for the last spot in the 2027 Rugby World Cup. And as we can see, it's just not about this game, but the officials arriving here from Asian rugby, you never know what sort of impression they will have on Uganda and the opportunities that could come out of this.
I'll tell you one thing for a fact, is that the Uganda Tourism Board placing that gorilla, the statue of the gorilla at the airport, at the arrivals terminal, was a bit of a masterstroke. It's just the first impression you get is that, one, this is a country with a bit of uniqueness to it. We have something that you can go and visit and tour, and everyone, this is like a photo booth. You know, when there would be, let's say, when you pass the equator, that line where you cross and you take photos from there. So at the airport, immediately when you arrive, you get the impression that there's serious tourism that can be done here. Now, the other thing is that this is, Kais is the Vice President of United Arab Emirates Rugby, but he is the President of Asia Rugby. And when you have the President of Asia Rugby here, the Vice Chairperson of World Rugby was here, the President of Rugby Africa loves Uganda, all these rugby people, I could say big people in rugby coming here, means that one, people start to think of Uganda as a major rugby destination on the African continent, but then also that discussions which will be looking at taking the next step in rugby, in international rugby, they will be involving Uganda. Because now you have the UAE are here, Asia is here, but when they're having discussions on how they can see how best to incorporate these two continents, Asia and Africa, Uganda, even when you've not performed well, you can have a bit of a say in the discussion. We're supposed to take 4 countries, add the 5th, and then Uganda can come. We shall be there. So I'm thinking it's one of those things that we can benefit from. But then also, it adds more value to the game that is going to be played. It's already a big game, UAE, Namibia, but for the dignitaries to come here is also an extra step, adds a little bit of oomph to that match on Saturday.
And of course, let's talk the game now. Namibia, I don't know how much you've read or heard of the UAE now since you got to know that we're going to be broadcasting the game. What sort of game should we expect, Ernest?
One, I think Namibia did a couple of things well against Zimbabwe. I felt, and we mentioned this during the live broadcast, I felt Zimbabwe did not take care of their kick receipt well, especially on the kickoffs. We saw the score when it was 30, should be 12, and then Namibia responded almost immediately on the restart and made it 30-19. It looked like the game was already gone, but that restart, their restarts were so good. So they might have lost the game maybe because of a couple of points, a few kicks here and there, but Namibia did well in that game. The set pieces were a bit cleaner, the counterattacks were even much better, but now they need to fine-tune more, because I've seen how UAE played. UAE played against Kenya in the build-up to the tournament, and Kenya beat them. And then they managed to just about upset South Korea, because Hong Kong China is the team that qualified direct to the Rugby World Cup from Rugby Asia. And the expectation would be that the next team is going to be South Korea. But South Korea messed up a few games, and then that's how the UAE just about pipped them. So I think they have that bit of a boost. We didn't watch their games, and we've been looking for some tape. We'll maybe see how much we can get to see about the UAE. But then they are a team who have players who are playing locally, and one of the clubs is Exiles. They have a number of players who are in that Exiles team. And I'm thinking, the fact that they have a team which has many home-based players is a very difficult team to beat. You can have a bit of quality edge over them, but they have the chemistry. Just like the example for Uganda. They have that chemistry. They know how to play with each other. So for me, I'm thinking, first of all, as the African continent, we're backing Namibia. But I'm expecting the UAE to bring a bit of a challenge to them in terms of how they get to move the ball around. Namibia might have the edge in terms of the set pieces, but the quality that the UAE is going to bring will be in a bit of, I should say, a bit of that chemistry. We have, I remember they played UAE, but UAE played Kenya, but they also played Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
And Zimbabwe beat them by 62 points to 22, was it? You can check just to be sure from as Sarah is letting me know. They also played Zimbabwe.
22, yeah.
Yeah, so that game, and then when you compare how Namibia also played, because I was looking at the two African teams that the African team that they played, I thought it was just Kenya as well. So those two games, Namibia might be thinking we have a chance.
Yeah.
We have a chance here. The difficult bit is not now though. I understand this is just the first step and we might be making a mistake of looking ahead, but beating UAE and ensuring you play at their home is a very, very important bit that the Namibians have to do.
No, absolutely. Emanzi, it must be a tricky one, facing a team. I want to believe, of course, the technical team would have done some of the homework, trying to check out what this UAE team is all about. But sometimes playing a team that you can't find much about can be tricky sometimes.
Yeah, I think in secondary we used to talk about fear of the unknown.
Yeah, well, up to today, it's the biggest fear.
Yeah, yeah. So I think it is the same case right now that you have to play a country that you've not really paid a lot of attention to. When Namibia faces Zimbabwe, they know what exactly they are going to come up against, but it's quite different here. And I think what we cannot overlook is the fact that Namibia have been going to the World Cup, so they have that bit of experience of going to the World Cup, and that can easily give them the edge when they come up against teams that are fighting to get there for the first time. So I think you expect them to have a very good opportunity here, and I think we've mentioned before that we cannot also forget that they lost to Zimbabwe by just 2 points.
Yeah.
So Zimbabwe are the team on form in Africa, won the Africa Cup last year. They've done the same this year, so they are a team with the momentum on the continent, but Namibia did not make it easy for them. Zimbabwe might have run away with it, but for sure they will tell you that the fight from Namibia was really tough. So I think that you cannot you go into the game knowing that Namibia are the favorites coming up against UAE, but UAE of course also have that motivation knowing that the repechage will be in their backyard, so they know that if we can get an opportunity to win here, maybe we go back home and have the crowd backing us. But make no mistake, the favorites will be Namibia, and I think they will have just enough to get past the UAE, at least in this hurdle, and the questions will be asked in the repechage itself.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah?
I'll get a chance to see the UAE today. The captain's run schedules have been adjusted a bit, but we got confirmation that Namibia will be holding theirs at the hotel. I remember when I was speaking to Chris Koseb, he mentioned that it's difficult to move from Munyonyo to Nambole and then back. The training session is 45 minutes, 1 hour, but then it takes you an hour and a half to go there, and then another hour and a half to go. So they found it a bit difficult, and most of their sessions have been held at the hotel. They've not moved around a lot. Maybe the time when they have to go to Ham Stadium because of the relationship they have with Chirumira, who is their consular. But their session is going to be at 2 p.m. 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. The media will be allowed 15 minutes in there, 2 to 15, at the Speak Resort in Munyonyo. Then for UAE, which I feel is now a chance to get to see them out in the open, see what they think about the pitch, the conditions. Their captain's run is going to be at 3 p.m. at the Mandela National Stadium.
Brilliant. Brilliant in there. That's the UAE team when they adjust touchdown at the Entebbe International Airport. They'll be taking on Namibia tomorrow. Time has been adjusted to 3 p.m. kickoff time. The build-up on NBA Sport will start at 2 p.m. Now, leaving the World Cup playoff game on the side, the first leg of the National Sevens rugby is going to be the Kabaka coronation, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
yeah, and ahead of that, the Prince of Buganda, David Wasaja, did visit Euroform ahead of the coronation. I want to believe that they're definitely going to be a big part of the tournament. This is EMEA. In there also is the General Secretary of Uganda Rugby Union, or Rugby Uganda. Let's just listen in to what the two had to say when they visited Euroform and the plans ahead of the Coronation Sevens.
Here at Euroform Industries Limited, the home of premium mattress manufacturing unit. We come here at the Uganda Rugby Union in a partnership where we are coming in to support the Kawaka 32nd Coronation tournament, but also to come in with a range of products that supports the game of rugby, especially in the area of safety, and other supports that come toward making sure that the tournament gets the best in terms of preparation. So we want to thank the leadership of Euroform, the Coronation Secretariat, and the team that are working behind the scene to make sure that this tournament becomes a reality. We look forward to a better partnership with this company, and with a range of products that we think will also extend beyond the other rugby playing locations within the country. Yes, in the past we've just been giving medals for the man of the match, but this time around Euroform Industries has come out with a package for every man of the match or leader of the match in the tournament, which basically enhances the reward system that rugby as a sport cherishes.
Yes. First of all, I'd like to appreciate our appreciation to Euroform company for partnering with Uganda Rugby Union in sponsoring not only items but also cash towards the Kawaka's Coronation Rugby Sevens tournament. This contribution is very important because not only does it help with the safety of the players on the field, but the money will come in to help with the organization of the tournament. This tournament is important because it helps with the anniversaries, the ongoing and coronation anniversary activities for the Kawaka, because as you're aware, in July, end of July, will be the 32nd coronation activity. So this tournament is one of those activities for the commemoration of this anniversary, and we applaud Euroform for their kind offer towards the success of this tournament.
Okay, that's the Prince of Uganda, David Wasaja, who was speaking ahead of the Coronation Sevens, and